So good morning once again. So let me start today a new concept, that is a scanline algorithm. So what is scanline algorithm? So that we'll see. Here is the syllabus. So what we have covered till here, So fill area primitives and identifying the polygon fill areas, area functions, polygon fill area functions, attributes, and we are at scanline. Today we'll see scanline and OpenGL fill area attribute function. So let me not revise the things that we have done. I'll directly go with the concept of scanline algorithm. So for an internal point of view, as I said, we'll have a portion still scanline. So, and you may have a problem on this also. The important questions regarding this in IA or the model question papers I had forwarded you. So in that module 1 covers few of the out of syllabus sub questions. So these are all the things that we have come across: inside, out, outside, non-zero winding number rule, polygon tables, right? So we have seen even this plane equations to identify using Kramer's rule. So the normals of a given plane, right? So this I have shown you with the examples, that is to identify the front and the back polygon faces. So if it is less than 0, the point is behind the plane. Greater than 0, it is in front of the plane. Yes, let me continue. Hope all of you have joined. So I was talking about the concepts. I was just showing you the syllabus, what all the things we have covered, and this is a final syllabus till here for you for internals. This complete 1.5 module till open GL fill area attribute functions. So the few of the important questions are: open GL fill area attribute functions, explain a scanline algorithm with an example and solve a problem on this, right? What are fill area primitives, how do you identify the convex and concavity of a polygon, all those things. So we have covered this thing, this much of concepts. Okay, so I've displayed this problem also. I have attached this problem in how to identify the cube normals with this example. Explain this, how do you identify x, y, z and all, and calculated. So a is, you could see a has been calculated, B, C, D for the particular phase. So how do you write the normals? The normal factor spelling is 100 based on the value of A, B, C, D. It's the same thing I have shown it on the PPT. So I'll update this PPT into the Google Classroom. There you could see how do you calculate for your reference this normals. So then we have come across OpenGL fill area functions. Explain any one of the OpenGL fill area functions. So how do you write fill area functions? By using GL vertex, remember? So we'll do use GL vertex in between GL begin and GL end within the display functions, GL begin, GL end, within which we are using GL vertex. So remember, OpenGL polygon area functions. What is that function? GL vertex. How do you use that? So that is within GL begin, GL end, using all these things. This I just explained in the last class. GL polygon triangle strip. This is also an important question, even for internal, even for external point of view. I might ask this question also. Explain what is polygon area function. Remember, polygon fill area functions. Explain any one of it. So you should be able to explain this also with the diagram and with the functions, right? Then we have fill area attributes. This is a different concept. What is attributes? So we could fill the polygon with different types of attributes, that is different types of styles. So maybe it is a hollow, solid, and pattern. So for this, even you can so what do we do is we have a diagonal and we have cross catch still. So all these things are the pattern. How do you fill a polygon? Okay, the way in which you fill the polygon. Okay, fill area attributes. So the different style in which you could fill the polygon. So that is also one of the concept that come across when you have to fill the fill area attributes. So in the fill area attribute itself, you will have a scan line also, that is given the area. How do you fill using pixels? So color blended fill region. See, this is what by using a various functions called the and or XOR replace. All those things you could see in your project. Okay, so as of now, the no brief description is being needed on this. So let us today go to the concept of general scanline polygon fill algorithm. What is this scanline polygon fill algorithm? In simple concept, so imagine this is my polygon that is being drawn. So I want to say that you have to fill this complete polygon that is within this particular window. So when I explain this, so scanline polygon works in such a way that the scan line will have a individual scan line starting from this area. Remember, starting from this area of the window, though the window starts from here, this point. So while representing the attributes GL vertex, it starts from the left bottom corner. From the left bottom corner, you draw the line. So there is no intersection of the, imagine there is an intersection of this point. Okay. So on this edge and on this edge. Remember, again, I will have a one more scan line drawing from left to right. So I'll draw like this. So I would say that I'm just drawing only 4 scan lines. It intersects at the edge 1. It intersects at this lower edge another point. Okay. So I'm just in orally, I just for the sake of understanding. So imagine we have one more scan line. Imagine I have one more scan line. Maybe it passes through the exactly this edge and exactly this edge. As such, identify the vertices. So this is a kind of interesting program you have. So one more scan line. Similarly, for your understanding, I have shown you only a few of the scan lines. Scan line 1, 2, 3, 4. So when it intersects the edges, you need to identify the intersection area of these edges, and you have to start filling these particular edge with the pixels. Try to understand. So there is no this much of gap what I have shown you on the screen. As such, it will go on filling this particular scan. This itself is a major concept. Hopefully able to understand, right? So once again, scanline fill area algorithm is one of the algorithm to fill the given polygon, right? So for example, see what happens, so you have this, what you're going to do is, so you have this, maybe you have a triangle. Okay, you have a triangle. So I have to scan this. So you have scan line 1, scan line 2, scan line 3, scan line 4. So identify these vertices, that is intersection at the edges, this edge, this edge. And imagine that there are 100 scan lines that passes through this area, complete area. Okay, from left edge to. So identify this. Once you identify, you store into an array and you go on filling this. In the way it fills the complete triangle. See, I'm not going to fill this. I'm not going to fill this. Similarly, it is going to fill this complete area. So in the same way, you identify the pixels. So if this is a scan line, you identify the pixels from where starting point, ending point, starting point, ending point. So this itself is a scan line concept. Now let us go to the algorithm. So exactly using slope of the line, you execute this scan line. Fine. Now hope all of you have understood the basic. Now let me go technically, right? It was just a conceptually I explained. Now let me go technically. What are the formulas and how do you identify the slope of line? What will be the y-intercept and what will be the x-intercept, right? In the case of filling the polygon using scan line. So we are going to fill the scan line using polygon fill. Now you could see in this diagram, you have x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so we have one of the edge over here, right? You could see that y is going to increase in unit interval. Imagine at this point, maybe the value of y may be 2. Similarly, at this point, maybe value of y will be 6. So consecutively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe at till 10, we have 10 scan lines. Imagine we have 10 scan lines, right? So at individual interval, the y-intercept will go unit interval, whereas x go on changing. Okay, so this x is different, right? This x is different, this x is different. That is individual value of the pixel value at x interval goes on changing, whereas y remains the same. For example, if I ask you what is the value of y at this pixel, it will be, imagine if it is 2, it is 2 only. What is the value of y at this point? It is 2 only. What is the value of y? Again, it is 2 only. Whereas if I ask you what is the value of x, it is 10, right? At this point, it is 14. At this point, it is 18. At this point, it is 24. The concept says that identify the intersection edges, that is from point, so 210. All of you just follow this concept with concentration. 210 till fill till 2 to 14. Fill up with the pixels. This is one area. Similarly, after that, you give the gap. See, you are not going to fill this area. Hope all of are able to visualize this. Again, the point is same. Sorry, I have reversed it. Okay, this is not. I just reverse the x-axis, y-axis. So let me write once again. So what you have? You have pixel x-axis is 10, 10 to one more endpoint is 14 to. Now clear, hopefully all of you, x-axis, y-axis. After that, again give the gap. There is no filling. Again you have x-axis is 18, y-axis remains the same. Again x-axis is 24, y-axis remains the same. So till here you have to fill this area. So this is the way how you fill this scan line, right? Hopefully understood. Now let me go again the concept of scan line. Scan line uses the basic scanline procedure here. You could see here the same thing has been explained in the slide, what I explained right now. Okay, so whenever a scanline passes through the vertex, it intersects the two polygon edges at that point. Some cases it results in odd number of boundary intersection, right? Scanline y dash, here you could see scanline y dash intersects even number of edges, and two pairs of intersection points along the scan lines correctly identify the interior pixels of the pixel spans. But scanline y intersects 5 polygon edges. You could see scanline y intersects the 5 polygon edges. Okay, I'm talking about the edge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, this intersects through edge number 1 and edge number 2. It is a vertex. This is 2 is a vertex. The scanline y dash intersects through the 2 edges, whereas scanline y intersects through the 5 edges, edge 1, edge 2, edge 3, edge 4, edge 5. Okay. So we have to distinguish these scan lines based on some sort of knowledge. Okay, that is with the cases. For scanline line, the two edges sharing the intersection vertex are on opposite sides of the scan lines. Okay. Whereas for the scanline y dash, the two intersection edges are both above the scanline. For y dash, see, this is the edges that is sharing the opposite side. So it is quite difficult task. So in this case, how do we do it? That is one of the challenging point to fill up the area of a polygon using scanline. Okay. So now coming to the major concept, theoretical concept, and also with the exam point of view, and also the knowledge point of view, and also with respect to the lab program point of view, how do you fill this particular polygon and what concept do you fill the area of a polygon? So here is the solution. First, what do we do is we have to find the slope of the line. You know, slope of the line, how it is being calculated, right? Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So delta x by delta y. How do you calculate the slope of the line? Delta y by delta x. So you know what is delta y. So delta y is the change in y axis and change in x axis. Okay. So imagine the scan lines are passing like this. This is scan line yk. That is where y value is initiating. And this is a scan line where we have yk plus 1. As you know, the scan line either passes from left edge to right edge or right edge to left edge. Doesn't matter for us, but usually we do consider from left edge to LE to RE. So the scan line at this point, what will be the value of y? Okay. So if I plot this in terms of a graph, this will be the y. So maybe the scan value of yk and incremental value at yk plus 1. So we have two scan lines, right? So if you could see here, the intersection point where exactly it is intersecting, we have to identify what is xk value, what is yk value. Similarly, at this point, what is xk plus 1, yk plus 1. So as if I say the value of yk is maybe 10 over here, so what will be the value of yk plus 1? It will be 11. Fine. And what about this pixel? Again, this also, this will be yk, but xk you have to calculate. Xk you have to calculate, question mark. Similarly, this also, here this pixel, you know the y value, it is yk plus 1, and you have to calculate the yk plus 1. You have to question mark, you have to calculate the xk. So how do you calculate this? This is a quite interesting part. Now you could see how do you calculate it. Now let us see. Change in y coordinates between the two scan lines is always in terms of a unit interval. Hence, I could write an equation as yk plus 1 minus yk is always 1. It is a unit interval. Hopefully understood. Then what about the x intersection? The x intersection between xk plus 1 and x could be determined by using the slope of the line. So how do you calculate the slope of a line? M equals to yk plus 1 minus yk, xk plus 1 minus xk. Right. And how do you calculate xk plus 1? This we have derived using DDL algorithm. I remember even from this also you could derive what is xk plus 1. So xk plus 1 could be derived as xk plus reverse of the slope, that is xk plus 1 by m. Clear? Just analyze this. Right. So we have a problem on this also. Tomorrow maybe we'll go with this problem. Now let me today go with the theoretical concept. So are you people followed the concept? So that I can proceed further. Okay, fine. So you know how to calculate the slope. So what you have to do is very simple concept. Using slope of the line m equals to delta y by delta x. So you know how do you calculate xk plus 1? So xk plus 1 is nothing but xk plus, see here. So you know xk, you to calculate xk, the next x-intercept, you need to calculate xk plus the slope of the line in between these 2 points. Similarly, so slope of the line is nothing but delta y by delta x, as I mentioned. So always the next intercept will be calculated, that is xk plus 1 is to be calculated xk plus change in delta xy by delta v, that is called a reverse of 1 by m. So this is what I have elaborated. So x delta change in delta x by delta y is nothing but 1 by m. Is it not 1 by m? So this could be written as 1 by m, right? So hence the derivation. So you will ask the derivation. The derivation is the same. You have to draw this diagram. You have to show the two lines, slope of the line. What is the difference between yk plus 1 and yk? You have to show it. Then what is slope of the line? Then the incremental calculation for x-intercept along the successive scan lines can be expressed like this. So since delta x by delta y equals to 1 by m, so you could directly say that 1 by m xk plus 1 by m will be the next intercept, right? So hopefully understood. Now coming to the major concept, the concept of data structures that we are going to use it. See here, this is a scan line. So all of you, the same thing, this is the cube normals. I have forwarded it, right? So general scan line algorithm. So a lot of theoretical concept is there. You have to go in exactly the concept what you need. The major concept that you have to follow is this, right? This concept you need to follow, and you know, and you have to follow this concept. These equations you have to elaborate it logically, and finally you have to derive this. Okay. So then coming to the concepts, how do you represent this scan lines? So this is quite important. All of you analyze this. Based on itself, you have a problem. See, scan line problem that we are going to solve it maybe today's session or the tomorrow's morning 9:20 session. Very important, and you are going to get a question for this even in internal, even for external also. So before I solve this problem, try to understand theoretically what exactly it is being happening over here. Okay, so imagine this diagram. What is happening in this diagram? The scan line is being passing YA to YD, right? So through the various vertices, through the various edges of a polygon. Imagine scan line YA. So YA starts at one of the value of Y, the value of YA. This is YA. The scan line 2 is called YD at some of the intercept. So in between many scan lines are there. Similarly, we have many scan lines. So Y goes in unit interval, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas X, you could see, you have to identify what is the value of X. What is the value of X? What is the value of X? A quite complex thing that you need to understand. Now you see here, coming to the concept of how do you write this data structure. This is important to solve the problem, YA. So maybe YA, the value of YA is 5 over here. This is my imagination. At this 5, a scan line is passing at line Y. Here also value of Y is 5, value of Y is 5. Well, whereas you have to calculate the value of X. So when the scan line YA passes through this edge, okay, YA, what are all the various vertices that is being connected? I'll just erase and I'll tell you once again. What are the edges that passes through this YA? So you have one. So this is the one edge. This is one edge. This is the second edge. Clear? Okay. So what is the Y value at this particular point? At this point and this point, see how to write this data structure. This is very important. There are two edges that passes through this A, that is AE and AB. So what is the value of Y at this point and at this point? That is YE and YB, no? So same thing, you have to write YE, one data structure, YB, right? And what is this XK and XA value? So XA, Y, both the cases we have written XA. we have to write the x value, which is a minimum. Sorry, we have to write the value of x where in both the edges, which is less y minimum, which is a y min. Y min is for this edge, y min is at this point, no? Clear? So min value of x. So I'll write add xa both xa. Once again, I repeat, first A will be taken data structure. You have to identify the two vertices that is being connected. You have AE, AB. In AE, what is the value of Y? So it is YE, first box of the data structure. YB at another side that is being connected. Now, when you write this data structure XA, you have to identify in both this point, that is AE, now you'll understand, and AB. AB, what are the intercepts you have? X min, like X axis, Y axis, right? So which you have to write the value of X on which Y falls minimum. Y falls minimum where? It falls minimum over here, no? In this edge, Y falls minimum here at YA. So I will consider this XA value over here in this data structure. Similarly, now you will understand for this concept YD. So coming to the YD, so what are the two edges that passes through YD? This one and this one. I've just rounded. That is DE and DC bar. Okay. So DC bar, you have to write the Y intercepts of E and DC bar. So you have D, XD, sorry, YC bar and YE. And in YE and these two intercepts, for which value of X the Y minimum will falls less, so it is for XD. So XD has been updated. Similarly, you proceed further. So when you come to the C, see here YC, so YC will have only one edge. It will not have two edges. YC will have only one edge. So what is the value of Y at this point? It is at this point YC at this scan line. So it is YB, right? Y intercept CB. What is the value of Y intercept? It is YB, and you have to write the value of X where the Y minimum falls less. It is XC at this point. So this has to be updated over here. And what is this? This is a slope of the line. That is reverse of the slope of the line. That is 1 by m. Delta X by delta Y. Delta X divided by delta Y. Remember, this is Y value and this is X value. Y value at this particular edge, Y value at this particular edge. Whereas these are two common things. X value where in both the edges where Y min falls less. See in this both edge, where is the Y min value less at Y X, you know? So that X value has to be taken. In this edge, imagine, give me the value of X where Y min is less, Y min value is here, no? So XD. Similarly, in this case, where is the value in CB? Where is the Y value? Whether this value is Y value is high or this value Y is high, this value is high is less, no? So here XC has to be updated. If you follow this concept, you find easy in solving the problem that we are going to solve it tomorrow. Very interesting problem on scanline algorithm. This is called data structure. So if you want, if you have still have a confusion, I can explain it once again before I start tomorrow's session. So try to understand this. How do we write this table, data structure table? Then only it is easy for you to solve the problem. Okay. So any doubts? Meanwhile, you can give the attendance in the chat session, all of you. So, and if you have a doubts, I can proceed further. Still we have 8 minutes of session. So meanwhile, if you want me to explain once again, I can explain. The problem is I have given it in the Google Classroom, but you need a brief explanation on this. How do you solve this scanline problem? So tomorrow I'll solve this scanline problem. So shall I explain once again? Okay, fine. See what happens. This is the scanline where we have to identify the x-intercept and y-intercept. So what you have to do is, first, as you have seen the algorithm, y-intercept changes at unit interval. Imagine this is scanline YA, this is scanline YD, and similarly, there are many scanlines that passes through it. So it is quite easy to identify the y-intercept as it goes in unit interval, because the value of y at this point and at this point and at this point is one and the same, whereas value of X goes on changing, right? So this is the way how we identified. So imagine YA value some value 5. So at YA, how do you write this table? How do you write this table? First, identify at vertex YA how many edges are passing. This is one edge, this is second edge. Is it or not? What will the name of the edge? AE. Try to understand. AE and AB. A and AB. So at AE, okay, at AE, what is the value of Y? It is YE. At AB, what is the value of, at intercept AB, what is the value of Y? It is YB. Okay, at this point I'm talking about, it is AB and YB. So this has to be updated in the, it is not global edge table, it is called global edge table, like a linked list what you write, Y and B. Now updating the X coordinates to initiate, okay. So you don't have to ask me the question why it is XA. So we have the solution for it tomorrow, we are going to see. So that is from global edge table, we are going to transform it to determine the values of the pixels. So at this point, so both at AE and AB, for what value of Y that should be minimum. So where we have a minimum value, so imagine this xy, x1, y1, x2, y2. Here it is minimum, no? Again x1, y1, x3, y3, which is minimum value here, no? So that x value has to be considered where we have a minimum y value. So that will be updated into both the data structure, and you have to calculate the slope of the line with respect to AE and AB to update into the global edge table. This is called global edge table. Similarly, if you come across at this point D, imagine, so we have two edges, that is C dash D and C dash D and DE. So now tell me, what is the y-intercept at C bar and this value? It is YC bar that has been updated. And what is the value of at this point? It is Y. Now I need a common X value at that point where my Y minimum is less in both these edges, which are all edges, rounded edges. That is in D and DC bar. Imagine at D we have X0, Y0, X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So in that where we have a minimum, which is with the minimum Y value, Y falls over here, no? Here Y is greater at this point. Here you take the X value. What is the X value? It is XD. If you understand, you solving the problem, you find it easy tomorrow, or else you find it difficult. So again, at the same YB, why it is a YB? So imagine at YC, scanline YC, only we have one edge. So that is CB. So at CB, what will be the Y value at B intercept? It is yb, and at minimum x in between two edges. For example, it is very simple here. Imagine at C we have x1 comma y1. Here we have x2 comma y2. So you tell me where I have a minimum value. I have a minimum value y value at y1. What is its x value? It is x1. So xc has to be updated over here. So this is called global edge table, right? Based on this, we are going to solve a problem tomorrow. So I have attached this problem in the Google Classroom. All of you could, if you're able to solve this, you could solve, or else I'll explain this tomorrow in the class. And it is very important for internal point of view. I have given the problem on scanline 1, definitely. And I have given a problem to solve Bressenham's, and maybe by using vector method to identify the faces. Okay, so from this unit. So till here we have for internal, right? So those who are not given the attendance can give, and I'll stop the session today as of now. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can chat. If you have not still understood, maybe I'll explain once again tomorrow with the problem. That time you find it interesting and you may follow it easily. Synopsis format I have forwarded in Google Classroom. All of you can refer it, and you can simply send a synopsis in a Google Classroom. It is a simple format of 3 pages. It is just a formality to assume that you have fixed up with the topic so that we can proceed further. There should not be any sort of clashes. And if you have any same project being repeated, you could clarify among yourself with your friends, and you could proceed further. Those who submit first, they will get the same project topic.